So now we're going to go up here and cross over to this little side area.
And that is the... After defeating Manus, that's sort of the main end of the DLC main story part.
Yes.
What we're doing now is optional, although you should do it because it's cool content, but... So we're going to use that door, that key door, to open this door, and we're going to find someone up there.
Who could this be? Why, it's a giant.
A visitor, have we? Thou must be the one who freed Artorias. That old friend he was. Thanks to thee, he left this world with honor intact. And here I am, retired and blind. Of little help to thee, I'm afraid.
So...
Thou seeketh to explore this domain. Be wary. I fear thee no match for this terrible beast.
Do we ever find out what blinded him?
Yes, I think either in one of his descriptions, or in one of his comments, or in the description to his stuff, the Ulasil people actually blinded him, because they were scared of him because he was a giant. And so they were the ones who blinded him, which is why he's locked up here in this prison-y top of a tower.
Did they not know about Gwyn's Four Knights?
Clearly they didn't. So yeah, in case you didn't guess, this is Hawkeye Goff, the fourth of Gwyn's Great Knights. You can tell also because he's got his bow, and he was, of course, a great archer. And if you talk to him, and he says obviously he can't really do much to help you, and you can buy Homeward Bones, Prism Stones, and the other carvings from him. So
You can also hit him and aggro him if you want, but
yeah,
don't do that.
You really shouldn't do that.
But that is up to you.
Shards and Goff's Great Arrows. And so he really doesn't seem to want to help us any right now, but let us go investigate further.
A certain area.
Yes. Yes, so if we run back down here, and head toward that path downward that we saw way before when we first entered this area that I said we'd get back to later, we shall find a new area to explore.
Watch out for dogs.
Yeah, I know. I hate those dogs.
I hate, in all Souls games, I do not like dogs.
In every video game ever, demon dogs are like my worst enemy. I hate them in Resident Evils, I hate them in the Souls games, I hate them in all of it. So this is a little creek.
A
We
crick.
can follow.
A lot of timber.
Yeah, a lot of cut timber down here.
A lot of timber. I guess that's where they put their timber.
And a lot of demon dogs. And then
Not
here
sure
we
what
have-
they use timber for. Everything seemed to be stone in Ulasil.
Yeah, I don't quite know what they were harvesting down in this little tributary, but in any case, if you follow it, you will have to fight some demon dogs, because of course you will.
I think there's 4 or 5 total down here.
Yeah, and if you don't go back to that little back way to get to that soul, you only have to fight 3 of them, I believe. Which is good, because I hate them. And if you head down here, you can see that there's a door here, but it's not locked or anything. And here's a valley with a waterfall, and oh look! It's that dragon.
Hughesburg.
Perhaps we have found that dragon's stomping grounds. And if you look down there, we can see some items, and obviously a big giant boss arena. So we know this is where to fight the dragon, but we're not going to go down there just yet. we're gonna go back and talk to Goff because we found the dragon that he warned us about.
And if you do go down there without doing Goff first, Calamite will just fly above you and burn you.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a good idea. He will just stay in the air above
Yeah.
you,
Like,
and just
doing Goff is sort of a requisite to...
being able to kill him. I mean, I think that it's like theoretically possible to kill him without talking to Goff again, but you should just talk to Goff again. Like, there's zero upside to not talking to Goff. And I'm actually going to take off this gear for probably this whole fight, because it's really not going to be that helpful, and I want to be more mobile than I want to be heavily armored.
Mobile.
And so if we run back up here, and once again we see these statues with the Ulasil Catalyst. I don't think we can tell. Do they still have their heads attached? Doesn't look like it. Maybe they just make those statues that way. Or maybe they just made one model and used it over and over again. But anyway.
I mean, maybe it's because they have ugly honeycomb heads.
So we come back and talk to him.
Black dragon posing the duress?
And if we say, yes, he is really bothering us,
Yes.
Then we get a cutscene.
he decides to help.
Old Calamite. Ferocious dragon.
I wish he would just kill it for us, but I guess it's too
I
much
know.
to ask.
Well, you know.
Dared not provoke his ire. I see little good coming from this, but my intent is to persevere to the bitter end.
And yes, we do intend to persevere to the bitter end.
Good, good. I've taken a liking to thee. Yes, that bat will be grounded for a good spell. The rest is in thine hands. I await good time. Dragon slip. He is an ancient dragon. Dragons, we night exile about
So, yeah, Goff's kind of a badass.
Kind of. Not very much of one. All he can do is cripple a dragon.
Blind.
This is lucky.
He's just lucky shot.
This is bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah. He's just,
It's like, oh, that worked? I mean, good, warrior.
yeah, no.
Now you do the rest,
Yeah,
friend.
I knew that was going to hit him, and I intentionally left him completely as strong as before, only unable to fly, just so you could have the honor, really, of killing him yourself.
Yeah. It should be a meme, like, asshole Goff.
Yeah, just not really helpful Goff. So yeah, so now we're gonna run back to this area, and luckily we haven't rested any bonfires, so the demon dogs are still dead, which is very helpful, because I hate them.
And then we're going to take on Calamite,
We're gonna take on Calamite.
which is maybe... Well, I don't know if he's the hardest boss of the game, but he gave me the hardest
I think
time.
between
I think.
him and Manus is probably the distinction, because the two
Yeah.
of them probably are the hardest. I think Calamite probably gave me the most trouble too. And for the record, I am not going to try to cut off his tail, because I don't want to be here for like 3 episodes.
Neither do I.
If you do it, you get a great sword that actually has the moveset of an axe, so it's kind of unique that way. But it's not a particularly good-looking great sword, and we're not going to use it, so I don't care. So
Right,
yes, if you
but for you at home, you can cut off his tail if you want.
yeah, so you slide down here, and boom, it's Calamite.
And what makes Calamite tough is, though his wings have been crippled, he can sort of fly, so you can't always hit him because he's not always on the ground, and
And
it's
also,
just
he's ridiculously fast.
yeah. It's again, this is like all the DLC bosses, gap closers everywhere, so you can't just stand back and throw sorceries at him. His attacks do loads of damage too.
Yeah. And a lot of his attacks have a sort of hidden, built-in gap-closing effect to them, where you think he's just sort of rearing up for an attack, and all of a sudden that attack will cause him to launch like halfway across the arena.
Right. And as Dave is doing this, you'll see he sort of has a few different attacks. I don't know which one is the best one to hit him after. I do know there's one I think where he sort of stands up on his hind legs and breathes fire down. If you kind of run under him real quick, you can get a couple
Yeah.
hits
and that
on
one's
him.
actually one of the few shots where you have a good chance of attacking his tail.
Right. The other thing also, do not lock onto him.
No, do not. Like a lot of the large-size enemies in the game, it's better to just not lock onto him, because that gives you more mobility.
Wow. I just saw one where like you ran, jumped, and lucked into not getting hit by his spinning thing.
I know, me too. Somehow
I
I
was
jumped
like, wow,
over,
that was great.
I jumped over his tail.
It's like that worked out really great.
That one where he flies up into the air and does a straight downward breath attack is
You just got to
probably
run out of.
one of the most dangerous attacks. That's probably one of the most dangerous attacks he has. You have to be able to identify it very quickly and then start running away from him immediately, or you will get hit. If there's any hesitation at all, then he's gonna hit you with that.
Pretty much. And I think also if he hits you, that's pretty much an insta-death, I
Yeah,
think.
that one, it may not be instant death, but it's very close.
Yeah, and I guess it depends on your build. I mean, if you have a lot of HP, you may get through it, but just try to run away from that.
Okay, so I made it through the demon dogs, only taking a little bit of damage. And unlike Seath, I guess, where after that sort of initial fly down and reveal, he always just starts in the room waiting for you when you come back in, Calamite always does his little intro where when you get down to the bottom, he's at the very far end of the valley and stalks towards you. So you've always, pretty much always got time to go pick up your stain if that's something you're avoiding. Although staying that far away from him probably isn't the best idea. But anyway, so and probably where I'm standing is not a bad. Well, God. And so anyway, sometimes he does this attack where he grabs you and pulls you up into the air and does a little bit of damage. And the real danger of this attack is that it puts a little red eye above your head, and this is the eye of Calamite. And what this does is it doubles the damage you take for the duration that it's on you. So it pretty much, until it wears off, you have a really good chance of getting one shot by a lot of his attacks.
Yep.
So if you can, avoid getting hit by that.
It doesn't last too. I forgot how long it lasts.
It's already
but,
gone, yeah. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
last
not.
very
I don't. It's not more than a minute, certainly, but
but it does create a very dangerous position because all of the bosses in the game have a certain type of scaling on their attacks, where no boss is ever scaled to be able to one-shot you with a single attack. All of their attacks are designed that if it would one-shot you, it instead does a certain percentage of your health. But if Calamite puts his eye on you, then that will just double the damage and can one-shot you. So that makes him particularly more deadly than the other bosses in the game, because he does have a built-in mechanic where he can end up one-shotting you. And as you can see, that's one of his big gap closers.
Got him.
Okay, and I got out of the way of the eye that time, which is good. And then that attack, which you saw me dodge by sheer miracle luck last time, is probably one of his hardest to wrap your head around, because he winds up for a long time on it, and then all of a sudden sort of flips backwards and hits you with his tail when you're really expecting him to hit you with his head or something. And this is his breath attack. Get out of the way, use time to heal. With a humanity. That's it.
Woohoo!
So, I almost got his tail, too. That was pretty great. And your reward is not a soul, because again, like we keep saying, dragons don't have souls. But instead, you get a Calamity Ring. And this ring is essentially a giant troll on the part of FromSoft, because the Calamity Ring, all it does is, it in fact doubles the damage you take. It actually puts the eye effect that he put on me earlier onto you permanently. And there's no secret to it. You don't get any sort of bonus to anything by wearing it during any particular fight or event.
It just makes you more hardcore.
It just, yeah, if you want to be hardcore and wear it for the rest of the game to show how many balls you've got, then you can go for it. And then some of the people in the community liked it. They liked the idea of a ring that you can wear to increase the challenge of the game. The problem is it comes so late. We're pretty much here at the earliest possible time that we could come do this area. So there's no way to get the ring earlier on in your playthrough and thus be able to, I guess, enjoy, quote-unquote.
Well, I mean, you could use it in New Game plus and really be a man.
Yes, and behind this waterfall is a Titanite slab, one of the 3 guaranteed slabs in the game. So that's the end of that. We're just going to go ahead and Homeward Bone back.
Yeah, and that was the DLC, everyone.
Yep,
So
and
yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're going to go talk to our good buddy one more time, because once you beat Calamite, he has one less thing to say to you, and to give you a gift that we will
There
not
you can
be
see
using.
Enorlondo way up in the distance, too. Well, you could 20 seconds ago.
Yeah, you could quite a while ago, but... anyway, so we're going to go up here, talk to him one more time, and wrap up the DLC. What's up, Goff? How's it going?
Why, thou hast defeated Calamite,
Yes, I have.
beast.
So yeah. He thanks you, and then if you talk to him again,
I shall, I know not of a
he will give you his great bow.
I suspect
And I don't know who would ever use that. You need weird stats.
died, but they awoke.
Then it's one of those bows where like you can't even move with it, right? You just gotta plant it and...
I cherish my royal.
Yeah, I think it relies on strength.
I would have much in truth. Still,
So we defeated the Abyss and the Calamitous Calamite, although it's not really clear what he ever brought Calamity to.
Yes, and if you'll notice at the end of Goff's words there is that he mentions Artorias coming here because the Ulasilians had awakened to the abyss, possibly through the influence of a great serpent, which we happen to know refer to the primordial serpents, who we have started to piece together are kind of behind all of this.
And we did see Kath in the other abyss, so
Yep.
it would make sense.
So now we're done, and we are going to warp back out, and so we have 2 areas in the game left to go through, which is the Catacombs / Tomb of the Giants,
And then Demon Ruins / Izaleaf.
Yep. But we'll probably pick those up next time. Okay, I'm coming back. Please, God, Siegemeyer, get out of here. Go away.
Get out of there, Siegemeyer!
Anyway, we'll work on him. So yeah, so that's the end of this one. That was the DLC in a nutshell. There are a lot of deaths in this episode that
Not
probably...
many of them came to bosses, weirdly enough.
I know.
A lot of them were just to fall,
A lot of them
falling
were
around.
just incompetence. Anyway.
So yeah, we'll see you next time.
And yeah, let's put Artorias' stuff back on. Yep. And we will see you next time when we tackle one of those other 2. We'll decide then.